Hello, welcome to the third episode of Stories in Progress, where we talk all about writing. And if you're wondering what's in this coconut, comment below. And please subscribe to the channel for more writing content. So, let's be honest. What have I been doing since the last time I've been updating about my writing? Well, wait, before I get into that, if you are actually new to this writing session, writing vlog, whatever you want to call it, I call it Stories in Progress, or SIP for short, where you have your favorite drink to sip on, and we talk all about writing. Needed that. Anyways, so what have I done in the past month? To be honest, I haven't done too much writing. Why? Well, I have plenty of schoolwork that has been interfering with my creativity of writing, and I got to blame that on English. I got proof. English folder. I got this entire schedule of what my class requires. And I've been so caught up into the essays and many assignments in that class that my creativity has not expressed itself freely as I would want it to be. And it hasn't been easy. And speaking of that, I had to make a school work planner as a result of that, because I'm trying to keep up with my schoolwork, and I want to be able to do my schoolwork, make videos, and do writing at the same time. But I had to manage it and make sure I get it done before the due date. And right now I am currently trying to finish another essay that is going over fiction. So, yeah, working on that, as well as a literature trial. How I feel about English right now, I'm just not in the right mindset of where I'm so eager to learn new things in English and all. I am near the breaking point. But I am trying to stay positive, stay optimistic, and not trying to fall behind. I actually got some books that I bought and actually got for free. So if you have seen my panel, or if you haven't yet, you should check it out right after this video. It is a young adult panel with Gabby Burton and Lauren Roberts, and that was a very fun panel that me and my friend went to on March 1st. And I am trying to get all these books. Oh my gosh. Yes, these are all the books I got. Most of them for free. And it is called the North Texas Teen Book Festival, which happens every year. I go to the one in Irving. It is so much fun. All-day event. So yes, you have to wait in line if you want to get some free books, and there's certain times that if you want a certain genre of book, they have a sign that tells you what time of whenever you could get that book. So it's very fun. So I got a sneak peek of some graphic novels. So Last Kids on Earth and Misfits. I also got, I got a couple free graphic novels. I just grabbed them. So I got Dex Duno, The Cartoonist Club, and Wake Up Santiago. Speak Up Santiago. Those are all graphic novels. And then I got some other free books. So I'm gonna hold two at a time. So I got Snoop, and from this author, Gordon Corman, I actually got a free book last year called Faker, and it is actually a advanced reader's copy, and now it's one of New York Times bestsellers. So that's great. And also I got Dear Manny, that's written by Nick Stone. That's published now. Okay, yes. So the other two that I got is The Lost Queen. I want to read that. It's very interesting. And All the Tomorrows After. I think this is like a mystery book. I had to, read more into it. But I want to tell you all about that. Oh, and then the books that I actually bought. So the first one I got was Flunked by Jen Colonata. So this is the first book of a series. It's a fairy tale retelling and very fun. So it's a fairy tale reform school. So very interesting. And how I found out about this book was through the North Texas Teen Books Festival website, showing the authors and what books they have published and promoting at the book festival. So I got this one. It was very interesting. I really like the cover. And I am really glad that I got it. And the other books that I got is actually a duology. So it's called Heartless Hunter and Rebel Witch by Christina Cicerarelli. Okay, see how I said it so fast? Because I didn't want to mess up her last name. But I actually got this one from the speed dating. And if you know from my YouTube channel, I actually had a 30-day reading challenge, and Heartless Hunter was one of the books. And it took me 2 weeks to read this, and I loved it so much. And also, when I actually did not know that the author was actually going to be there. It's whenever I think, let's see. Oh, it was actually the day whenever I went there. That's when I figured it out. And to my surprise, this book was actually in the speed dating area. And as you see the sticker right here. So I got the book for free and I saved $20. And what's so funny is that there were a lot more hardcover books at the book festival than paperbacks. And the other book that I actually bought was Rebel Witch. This is the sequel. And I was so excited to get this book. And right now I am currently on chapter 4. I would have read even more. However, I've been doing so much English work and I've been trying to focus on that. But so far where I've been, oh my gosh, so good. So I'm so glad that I found those books at the book festival. And the book festival in general was very, very fun. Oh my gosh. I highly recommend going to book festivals to find new books to read and to get to know the authors there, because the authors have panels that you can watch and the authors' perspectives are very interesting. So yes, I will have the young adult panel down below in the description, and as well if you want any other of the books copies, such as the art copies, or I don't know, maybe a book challenge that I had on my channel, I'll put it in the description below. All this talk has made me thirsty. Oh my gosh. But the next thing I want to talk about, and this is actually kind of writing related, school related in a way. So I've been participating in UIL events and all that stuff, and I'm in debate and also ready writing. So with debate, I'm doing Lincoln Douglas debate. That's 1v1. There's a whole structure of that. I'll say debating that is very easy and very fun and less overwhelming. And actually today when I went to debate club, clearly I had some flaws and I need to improve that before the actual debate day, which is in April. So yeah, definitely need to improve on that. And of course I've been to a few debates, but with practice will help me improve and be better prepared for the actual debate. So, the other UIL that I'm actually a part of is Ready Writing. And yes, it's writing. And when I first heard about it, my debate coach, he mentioned to the UIL coordinator who is in charge at a school about my writing and all that stuff. And then she mentioned to me that I should do Ready Writing. And in fact, that for practice meets a course for the UIL, and I could actually do Ready Writing. So I met up with the person who was in charge of the Ready Writing. I do have the essay, actually both of them. Yes, I went to one in February and one in March. So the first one that I went to, I was kind of prepared. So what I knew based on what I was given. So there's 2 topics. You had to choose one to write about, and you had to have some examples to support your claim, pretty much. And this one, okay, yes, this one right here is my very first one. As you can see, it's UIL Ready Writing. And let's see, the 2 topics that I had to choose from was either the historian will tell you what happened, and the novelist will tell you what it felt like. And then topic 2, fear is the path of the dark side. Fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering. And these excerpts are based on pieces of writing that came from like maybe books or maybe journals or whatever. Like it came from a form of literature. There we go. And I was writing this within less than an hour because I was trying to make it to debate. And funny, I was the only one for debate, so I was able to do both. So, yes, it does look quite messy, and as you see the red pen, that was way after the meet. I actually went to tutoring to see where I should improve. But pretty much, let me tell you what happened. Oh, and I forgot a title. You have to have a title. But I forgot to write a title. But whenever I started writing this essay, I was so distracted because of the number of people who are typing on a computer, which the computer room, I can't say words today. Oh gosh. Was on the other room, and the handwritten room was where I was at. So I was very distracted. I was like, man, I can't write anything. And then it came to me. The hook came to me like, what happened? What did it felt like? There is a pause that ticks like a clock without time stopping. A wave of events spiraling in circles until finding the final destination. Or not. The historian can tell what had happened, whereas the novelist can tell what something felt like as if really being there. When I went to the coordinator for Ready Writing, he suggested to me that you shouldn't start with rhetorical questions. And I did explain to him I was like very distracting and distracted by the typewriters typing on the keyboard, and it just came to me like that. And like I said in multiple of my videos on my channel, like the words come to me in uncertain ways. So yeah, whatever I write is what I write. So the first hold up really quick. So yeah. So he recommended to me to have a broad sentence to get the writing started. And the second sentence is the bridge, which is more specific. And that connects the topic with that first sentence. And then the thesis, he actually complimented that my thesis was really good. So I really appreciate that. So my first, oh, and before that, my indentions, they weren't very clear to the judges who graded the paper. But anyways, the first main idea, I was talking about the historians and how they record what had happened. I was explaining that a flaw in this essay was that I had examples, but I would just be so quick to mention it and just move on and all that stuff. However, like they were good ideas. I also used a unnecessary idea that didn't have to be there. So yeah. And then my second main idea was about the novelists as writers. And I was using my experience as a writer, how writing down what it felt like. And my example, which was good that I put personal experience in there. However, having someone like a well-known author, like it would have been stronger. And then my conclusion about what had happened, what it felt like being a part of a time taking place, what meaning lied behind the fire, what could someone take away from it and stay with them to carry on. Overall, the novelist can say things a historian has to keep shut, and the story stays with them because it meant something that they could cherish for the rest of their days. So that's that essay. I didn't make it to the top six. Top six is a medal. However, it was a good start. The second meet that I went to, I was able to do ready writing again, and this time I had the mindset of trying to have stronger points, and what the teacher suggested to me, especially about my beginning, having a broad sentence starting off. I don't know what, I forgot what it's called. It started with an A. It's AP something 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 something. But that's what he teaches in his AP classes, and also to write quickly. So with this one, I actually got more feedback on this one. The previous one, I barely got any feedback. Like seriously, it was like 2 things, maybe 3. But I got more feedback. The worst thing about my essay was my grammar. Like there is just some noticeable parts of my essay that had some grammar issues. Anyways, the title, yes, I actually had a title this time, and the title actually came to me in the middle of the essay, and the title is "When the World Blows Up," and I thought of it as a way, this is going to keep the judges in their seats and interesting to read my essay. So here's my first paragraph. I'll read all the way. In this world of the modern day, technology has hit like a storm through the access of cell phones. From Colson Whitehead's The Nickel Boys revolves around the exits of violence that cell phones can record firsthand that revolutionizes the way people can witness events. It is easy for someone to grab their cell phone and press record when something bad happens, but do not realize an awakening of witnessing has motivated people to respond. I believe that's true, and watching not only the news, but watching what things going on even through a cell phone has made me aware that the world is not as it seems to be. And each paragraph that I had written, like my topic sentence, I would have another hook in there. So, for example, my first main idea was about how it's easy to record something when something bad has happened and something like results of that. Anyways, so I said, prior to the advancement of technology through cell phones, people relied on what they heard on the television or radio about the brutality and violence taking place. That's my first main idea. And I kept on talking about how cell phones has really impacted our lives and recording things that take place, and it's so easy for us to press post or send or whatever. What's funny is that Okay, you're gonna probably laugh. Okay. If something blows up on the internet, it is going viral, and everyone seems to have their piece of opinions on the matter. Isn't that true? Come on, that has to be true. Like, or it's just like a little, not fun fact, but more of like me kind of breaking the fourth wall in a way. So yeah, and my example that I use in this paragraph was about the spring of 2020, about the Black Lives Matter movement, and that was a discussion around the world for months, and of course the like what had happened and all that stuff. And I really love my concluding statement. However, that does not excuse the amount of violence inflicted on the nation and the world as a whole. This was one event that shaken chains to collapse and break through walls of other violent events to watch firsthand through a screen of a cell phone. Not everything is caused by violence. And I say this in my second topic sentence. However, not all things contain violence, as cell phones revolutionized the way people can witness based on what they are interested in viewing. An example that I use for this idea was TikTok, and things can go viral for various reasons, and maybe you can find your new favorite hobby on there. And also, when it comes to witnessing things, it's so extraordinary, and how influencers can impact in ways that it hasn't been done like in any other time than the modern day that we live in today. And then I have another example, still related to TikTok, at how romanticy actually like hit the rooftops, becoming its own subgenre and drawing in new readers. And a great example is Fourth Wing, and the Imperius series. I even mentioned, like, with her third book in that series releasing, it sold 2.7 million books in its first week alone. And how the cell phones can just make that impact just within seconds. That is just so amazing. And I even put, like, this is still TikTok related, and I'll tell you, I don't have TikTok, but I know what goes around on TikTok and all the buzz. Hey, who can't forget about that TikTok ban? Like, okay, let me read it, okay? So, who can forget the banning of TikTok in the United States? Everyone was saying their goodbyes and transitioning onto another social media platform to continue their content. Fun fact, I witnessed this event at 10 at night while eating dinner at Chili's. Here's a slap in the face. It only lasted for 14 hours. That resulted everyone going back on TikTok, uploading their content as if the ban were never enforced. Witnessing a scare of one of many people's favorite social media platform has given a wake-up call that anything can happen. I'm going to go ahead and read the conclusion because it's very interesting as well. In conclusion, it is easy for people to transport themselves to a cell phone and record what takes place around the world. But not all things have to stir into violence. It starts through the small things that occur inconveniently, gets onto everyone's cell phone to have the world blow up. And with this essay, I actually got 6th place. And I also got a medal for it. And I had this mentality of that I was the best writer in the room, that I had like more confidence than the last time I wrote something for writing. It definitely showed progress of how far I come through this competition in the practice meet, prepared for the real thing. And that allowed me to be able to discuss topics not only to the best of my ability, but also to speak my part of what has happened and how it has impacted us as people. And that is so great. Mm. The last episode of Stories in Progress, I was going to show something to y'all. However, I forgot to. And this is going to be that one thing that's different. In the month of February, whenever I was not able to write, I was like, oh, what can I do if I cannot write? And I was thinking about drawing. And I got back into drawing in my sketchbook. And I was drawing some of my characters from my novella series. So, let's see. So, the first set of pictures I have are actually sketched in a way that are not colored. Okay, so here's the first one. There we go. I have these horizontal for a reason. Hopefully you can see them. If not, yeah, I did my best to like, hey, you can see it. And so a teacher asked about my drawings and like, I was like, no, well, I was just drawing. And when I showed it off, it reminded of the person. It's like when you work on an investigation, you're trying to identify the person. Sometimes they'll have it drawn out of what the person looks like without color, like some basic descriptions. Hopefully you can see that. And these are some that I have. Oh, okay. Maybe y'all can see this kind of ugly one. This is. Oh no, I forgot. This is not complete, but at least I got something in there. I just made them extra muscular, and here's the last one I got for now. I don't know if you can see the names, but I do have it blurred because I'm like, oh no, 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 I don't want you to see the names. It's spoilers. I even drew smaller versions of the characters. Like 6 of them so far. It doesn't have any of the names, so yeah. And I did some color versions as well, but that full on gives away the name. I'll show you one. I'll show you one that has not been colored yet. Okay, you ready? Look at that. I know, right? I know. That took some time for me to actually draw. And with each of these pictures, it took me about 30-ish minutes, 20 to 30-ish minutes. And I start with the face, obviously. I go with the eyes, and as you've seen in each picture, it doesn't have a mouth. And the reason why is because I am not very good at drawing mouths and noses. To me, it just ruins the picture for me. But I will eventually upload them on my phone and, make a mouth and nose. Before we conclude this episode, I want to actually tell you that last week I was able to get a rough idea about a scene. So I wrote it on a note card. Not completely, but I wrote it on a note card of some dialogue. And sometimes dialogue can help me write some things. I didn't put it on my paper for my current novel because I haven't really got the words like all the way, and I don't want to just write it on the paper and then like, oh. I was glad something came to me. So it's like the first time in about two months since I last wrote something for my novel. And I've been working on my novel for over 2 years now. February 25th was actually 2 years of me writing my first novel. And I'll say the goal for me is by the end of the year is for me to complete the first novel and move on to the second novel. This is a quartet, and it takes place in somewhat like a dystopian world, and it's not necessarily like something bad happened. It's something extraordinary, like this extraordinary discovery that has transformed Earth to become something new. And that's something I am willing to tell you all. And throughout the year I will give more updates of what my story is also about and like tease a little spoilers as well. But this does conclude episode 3 of Stories in Progress. Let me know in the comments what you have been writing or what you have been doing to keep yourself proactive in the writing space. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.